I'm Jason. The world is yours, and today we have a story about UFC welterweight fighter Gilbert Burns blast. Jorge Masvidal claims Jorge Masvidal turned him down 3 times. Quote, I get the B from his BMF belt doesn't stand for baddest. Unquote. Gilbert Burns has taken a shot at Jorge Masvidal. Burns and Masvidal have been eyeing, or I don't know if they've been eyeing each other. As it seems, the pair were on a collision course. Masvidal even went as far as to say he would be willing to go to Brazil in January to face Burns. That seems there is a card in January, UFC 283, right? However, Gilbert Burns has taken to social media to rip Jorge Masvidal as he claimed Greenberg turned him down on for the UFC 283 fight in Brazil. Along with that, he revealed Masvidal also turned him down for UFC 281 and UFC 282. 281 happened in New York City, and 282 is scheduled to happen in Las Vegas. This is a quote from Gilbert Burns. Just letting everyone know that UFC offered me game bread, Jorge Masvidal 3 times. First time was for November 12th. He said he needs more time. Second time was for December 10th. He said he was going to fight. Uh, he was going to Brazil to fight me, and now he just said no again. So I guess the B from his BMF belt doesn't stand for bad. Wow. While Burns likely not fighting Masvidal at UFC 283, it's uncertain who he will face now. However, after Neil Magny's most recent win, he called out Burns and the Brazilian told him he would face Masvidal. He would face him if the Masvidal matchup didn't come to fruition. As for Masvidal, he hasn't fought since March of this year when he dropped a unanimous decision loss to Kobe Covington, which was his third loss in a row. With him turning down Burns, it also is uncertain when and who he will fight next. Gilbert Burns is coming off of a decision loss to Hazmat Chimaev back at April's UFC 273 pay-per-view. Prior to that, uh, Burns had dominated Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in a return to the win column after suffering a TKO loss to Kamal Usman for the welterweight championship belt. Have to say in this that I believe Jorge Masvidal, did he have 2 losses in a row? I know he has 2 losses to Kamal Usman. Was those 2 losses back to back to Kamal Usman? Am I missing something here? Was I think they may have been back to back losses to Kamal Usman. I think he defeated Nate Diaz. He won the baddest. He won the BMF belt, and then I think he fought Kamal Usman twice. I believe he fought Kamal Usman twice, and then he lost both of those fights, and then he lost to Kobe Covington. So Jorge Masvidal is on a 3-fight losing streak. He may be in some legal trouble. I don't want to go into that because who knows what's going on there. But something happened between him and Kobe Covington after the fight in Florida. There was an altercation. So I don't know what's happening when his next fight will happen. We don't even know when Kobe Covington's next fight will happen, and it seems like all signs probably point to Gilbert Burns fighting Neil Magny at UFC 283 in Brazil. But we'll see. I think it's still a good idea for Masvidal. Maybe, I can't say for him to accept the fight, but it would look pretty good if Masvidal and Burns fought next. There was a story earlier that we covered this week on this channel where Leon Edwards, the current welterweight champion, he was doing a little bit of UFC matchmaking, saying that he would like to see Masvidal fight Gilbert Burns, and if he could get past Gilbert Burns, he would give Masvidal a title shot. So it seems like all signs point to, almost one fight victory for Masvidal to get a title shot, and it's basically right in front of him. If he accepts the fight versus Gilbert Burns, that happens at UFC 283 in January 21st next year, about 2 months from now. If he accepts that fight and gets a victory, he could definitely get a title shot. I don't know if the same holds true for Gilbert Burns. If he beats Jorge Masvidal, maybe if it's an impressive victory, we still have to figure out what's happening with Kamaru Usman. He suffered a vicious head kick knockout to the current undisputed welterweight champion Leon Edwards, and that fight happened in Utah, and that was a 5-round fight, and we don't know how long Kamaru Usman is going to be out. But Leon Edwards is the current welterweight champion. He's looking to fight, I believe, in April. I think there's the UFC UK card in April, so he's lining up that. Will that fight be versus Kobe Covington? Will that fight be versus Kamaru Usman? Will that fight be versus Hazmat Chimaev? Or will that fight be versus Jorge Masvidal? I think one thing that could be happening here, that could be standing in front of this fight between Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal, is that Jorge Masvidal may be angling just to get into that fight with Leon Edwards next. That if Kamaru Usman is going to take a little bit more time off and probably, and if he's not available to fight in England against Leon Edwards, I would imagine Jorge Masvidal is probably not going to try to take a fight versus Gilbert Burns first. He would rather just walk into a fight versus Leon Edwards for the title shot. But we'll see. Like I said, Jorge Masvidal is on a 3-fight losing streak, so he doesn't deserve a title shot at all. And I don't even think a victory over Gilbert Burns should get him a title shot, right? But, that's UFC matchmaking, and we'll see what happens. Let me know your opinion of this story. A lot of so many moving pieces here. I don't think it's a good idea that Jorge Masvidal should walk into a title shot versus Leon Edwards next. Kobe Covington is there for a reason. Maybe Kobe Covington deserves the title shot first. Chimaev deserves a title shot. There's a few people who deserves a title shot in the welterweight division. But let me know your opinion with the craziness in the welterweight division. I am Jason. The world is yours. Today we had a pretty fun UFC matchmaking session for the current craziness in the welterweight division. But we have Gilbert Burns blasting Jorge Masvidal, claims Jorge Masvidal turned Gilbert Burns down 3 times. I guess, quote, I guess the B from his BMF belt doesn't stand for bad. Thank you for watching.